Coming up on Mountain News this morning, representatives with FEMA are in the region helping folks impacted by the month's flooding get assistance. Plus, how forest fire planning at a nursing home made the difference when floodwaters came up.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Wednesday to you, Mountain family. We are halfway through that working week. My name is Amelia Lee here with you on this February 26th, and the time is 5 o'clock. That means it's time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at that forecast this morning. And Megan, we have been treated by this warmer weather, and that's been great. We've not even had that much rain, and I know we talked about that yesterday, but what is on the weather schedule for today?
Well, good news. We have yet again another day of those warm temperatures, which I'm definitely excited for. We're talking 60s and some places could see 70 degrees. Now, in terms of this morning, we're not looking too bad either. We're having no fog in the region, so nothing to interrupt your drive. Same as we're looking at satellite and radar. Not a single drop of precipitation in the area, just watching those clouds moving in and out of our region. Now, I mentioned those temperatures, and take a look. Not too bad. Normally this time of year, we're around the low 30s, but we are seeing the mid 30s and 40s as you're traveling more towards the northeast. And by the time we head into the afternoon, here's those temperatures that I promised, seeing 70 degrees for some portions of our region, 73 even for Williamsburg and Monticello. Here's how we'll get to those high temperatures for today, warming up, hitting the high around that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock mark. Amelia.
All right, thank you, Megan. Well, FEMA is now on the ground in eastern Kentucky, helping flood survivors apply for disaster assistance. WYMT's Caroline Mueller reports from the Knott County Public Library.
FEMA set up at the Knott County Public Library, helping residents apply for disaster assistance following the flooding that happened earlier this month. Knott County Judge Executive Jeff Dobson says now is the time to get applications in.
We have 3 representatives here that's taken applications for individuals to claim their private assistance. We also, there's a lady from KYEM who is doing a survey as well to assist you with your application process.
Dobson says folks should apply as soon as possible and keep track of their FEMA identification number.
At the end of that call, you'll receive your FEMA identification number. You must write that down. Keep that. That's going to be your lifeline throughout this whole process. You will not be able to access any of your application without that number after it's submitted.
LaShonda Bates applied for assistance after floodwaters damaged her driveway and foundation.
We kind of live on an embankment, and it has 2 creeks that go through our driveway. Our driveway got washed out. It washed our embankment out, and now our foundation on our carport is cracking and the bank is sliding, and if we don't get it fixed, we'll lose it all. She estimates repairs will cost between $10,000 and $15,000 and says she is grateful for the county's quick response. The county's really done really great. Our magistrates have reached out. Everybody in the county's reached out, trying to see what they can do to help get us assistance with supplies, water. We were without water for a while. Our gas pipe was affected, so I mean everybody's been really great. FEMA is accepting applications at the library Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with weekend hours expected soon. In Knott County, Caroline Mueller, WYMT Mountain News.
Other counties can expect FEMA to set up in the coming weeks. Details about that are available on our website, WYMT.com. Governor Andy Beshear's office will be visiting FEMA registration intake centers today at 1 in the afternoon. He's expected to be at the Hal Rogers Forum in Hazard and the Knott Opportunity Center in Hindman at 2 this afternoon. Well, the death toll from severe weather in Kentucky since Valentine's Day went up again yesterday. It now stands at 23. The newest flood-related death was reported in Graves County. Officials also announced yesterday that Floyd County was added to the list of counties approved for public and individual assistance, bringing the total to 11. The other counties are Breathitt, Clay, Harlan, Knott, Lee, Letcher, Martin, Owsley, Perry, and Pike counties. The Environmental Protection Agency is partnering with area health departments, like the one in Pike County, to test drinking water for flooded communities. The EPA parked its mobile lab outside of the Pike County Health Department this week, working with the Kentucky Department for Public Health to test water from both public feeds and private wells. The mobile facility has incubators and other needed equipment to monitor the water for E. coli, which officials say are indicators of fecal matter. And the mobile lab helps to streamline the testing process for people who are concerned about the safety of their water, on top of the stress of the floods.
We are trying to do as quickly of a turnaround as we can, so we have a 24-hour incubation period once we receive the samples, and then it's a 48-hour turnaround time in general. So make sure people can get when they get back to their homes, that they're able to start drinking their water as soon as possible, and that when they drink it, they're sure that it's safe to drink.
Testing kits can be found by visiting the health department and must be dropped off at specific places. The mobile lab does not accept water samples out of the official chain of custody or in any unofficial containers. Many communities have been fighting water issues following the flooding, including right here in Hazard and Perry County. City utility crews continue to work to restore areas with clean water. Shortly after the flooding, almost 1,500 people were without water. But as crews work around the clock, those numbers are going down. City Manager Tony Eversole says crews have been passing out water bottles in areas that need it. Pike County officials gathered with local and state leaders yesterday at the Appalachian Wireless Arena to provide an update on the ongoing flood recovery efforts. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has the latest from that news conference.
This has been the most significant flood event since 1977.
From celebrating the work of first responders and the hundreds of rescues that gave families in Pike County another day,
there are hundreds of families who have been impacted. There are hundreds of businesses, small businesses, local businesses that have been devastated.
to recognizing the 4 deaths connected to the raging waters that poured through the region Valentine's Day weekend.
Those lives that are lost, it's not just a statistic. That's someone's loved ones.
Pike County officials were joined by federal, state, and local leaders Tuesday, sharing the progress that has been made in the days since the floodwaters drenched their people.
A lot of work to be done. Your streets are full of storm-related debris. Your homes are wet, and we understand that.
With speakers saying assistance is already here and more is on the way to help the people clean up and stand up again.
We are united as a mountain caucus to make sure that we get the assistance we need out of Frankfort, and we have been promised that that assistance will be forthcoming.
FEMA's interim director, Cameron Hamilton, said crews have been in the area for days. And now that President Donald Trump has approved disaster aid for several counties in eastern Kentucky, federal funding is available.
I can tell you that you're not forgotten about. We deeply care about the needs of this community, and we are going to partner with you in every way possible to ensure that this community can recover as swiftly as possible.
Hamilton says though the agency has more work to do in order to get connected with flood survivors, efforts are underway.
We have to be faster. That's the reality. And so we're looking at every method possible to speed up that process. We want survivors to get answers in hours or days, not weeks.
Saying it is all about putting boots on the ground and showing up for those who just want to move forward.
To return back to a normal way of life, and I think that's what everybody's looking for.
In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
FEMA representatives say you can apply for disaster aid now online at disasterassistance.gov by downloading the FEMA app or by calling 800-621-3362. Forest fire planning at an Elkhorn City nursing home made all the difference when flood waters came up. In December, Elkhorn Health and Rehabilitation had discussions about planning for possible fires on the hillside behind the building and how they should evacuate if that happened. A month and a half later, they had to put the plan to the test. Only this time, it was when floodwaters crossed the road in front of the building.
I think that's what helped us as working as a community, that it helped keep the residents as calm as can be, and also our staff.
Crews took half the people to Pikeville Medical Center and the other half to a community center in Elkhorn City. It took 12 hours to move 100 people. Goodwill Industries of Kentucky are offering vouchers following the recent flooding. $50 vouchers will be offered at Goodwill stores in Hazard, Paintsville, Pikeville, and Prestonsburg. Each family is eligible for one voucher. In order to request the voucher, folks are asked to contact the on-duty manager at their respective store.